Overcoming the comfort zone is no easy task, but it is something that you need to do. And I'm also speaking to myself here that I need to do in order to grow and to make progress. A lot of people stick within their comfort zone, especially after grade school. Like a lot of people never pick up another book. A lot of people go to the same job, do the same thing, and just kind of stagnate. But as I've said in previous videos, if you're stagnating or what you think is maintaining, staying the same, you're actually going in the negative direction because there's so many forces that are pulling you down that you have to overcome that by taking the correct actions, the correct habits to mitigate that and move in the positive direction. And so when you're trying to overcome the comfort zone, you have to make it a fun, sustainable thing for you to do. A lot of people say that, oh, I should just go out and do something that I'm afraid of every single day. Well, when people think of things that they're afraid of that they want to do every single day, like, going to the top of a skyscraper and looking down, or, approaching somebody and, telling them a joke or something like that, some of those things are a little too fear based, maybe for that individual that they're never going to do that every single day. But the basic concept holds true that if you're trying to get better in a certain domain, you have to take steps to get better. And a lot of times it requires pain and sacrifice to get better. I didn't make the rules. I would love it if every time we went to the gym, like it just felt amazing. But that's just not how it works. Like you have to break and tear down the muscle in order for it to grow. But the result of that over time is a great body, is great health, is great energy. And so it is really worth it, even though you have those short term pain experiences. And so if you want to grow and extend yourself outside of the comfort zone, rather than conceptualizing that you need to do something that you're afraid of every day, do something that you know might be a little bit uncomfortable, but has positive downstream effects. So the gym is always a really easy one. You don't have to go in there and lift as much as possible and kill yourself, but you have to, to start off with, just get into the gym. If you've never done that before, just get out of the house, get into the gym. Then maybe get on the treadmill. Then maybe lift a couple weights that you can manageably do and slowly build from there. And so you might say, like, oh, I'm not getting outside the comfort zone. Anybody could go to the gym like that. But you have to kind of look at where you are and be honest with yourself and make gains and progress based off of where you want to be rather than looking at everybody else in your social circle or social milieu. And so it's a very almost simple concept to get outside of your comfort zone, do things that are uncomfortable that have downstream positive effects. But you have to make it fun, you have to make it doable. And a lot of times you do this by breaking the steps into as small, incremental, manageable things as possible. And then over time, you're like, okay, I've walked into the gym 30 days in a row and I've never picked up a weight. I might as well pick up a weight since I'm here. And then you do that for 30 days and so on and so forth. And this concept can extend into social relationships. Like if you want to meet a partner, if you go out and you see somebody that you're attracted to and you want to start a conversation with, it might be really difficult for you to just have this full-blown conversation. But if you could just go up to anybody, or you're at Kroger or something and you see a store clerk and just say, hi, how's your day? Anybody can do that, right? And you start those little small steps. And then when you see that person that you're attracted to, be, hi, how's your day? I was wondering if blah, 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 or like, I thought you were really cute. Do you want to go out sometime? Anything like that. I'm no expert in these domains, but I've done things like that to get better. And you don't have to be perfect by any means. But that's just the basic concept and ideas that to get better, you have to get out of your comfort zone. Again, I didn't make the rules. I would love it if we can just stay in the comfort zone and grow and get ripped and have all the success and relationships, blah, blah, blah. But that's just not how it works. You have to register in your mind that this is just the way reality is set up, that you have to do uncomfortable things to get good results long term. So I hope that helps. Break it down to as small, manageable things as you can. Make it fun for yourself, but always extend outside of what you feel to be super comfortable, because if you wallow in that comfort for too long, it begins to get really uncomfortable in a different type of way. Like if you're just laying in bed scrolling, you begin to feel more negative. You begin to feel like your body's aching. And then you have so much more work to do to get out of that than if you just took small steps every day in the direction of your future best self. So I hope that helps. I'll see you in the next one.